Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are so pleased to have in the studio with us today Jasmine LeFlore. She is the co-founder and executive director of Greater Than Tech. How you doing, Jasmine?
Hi, Drew. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Well, honored to have you here, and joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel. She is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., celebrating their 20th anniversary next year, and Kristen and I have been colleagues for how long now?
17 years.
17.
I'm just going to keep making it longer and longer.
It was 24 years last week.
It was.
It's getting shorter and shorter in that aspect of it. But Jasmine, I know Kristen has a question for you.
Kristen.
Oh, thank you.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, I just wanted you to tell us more about the mission of your organization.
Yeah, so the mission of Greater Than Tech is to create the next generation of innovative technology leaders. We teach girls and underserved youth, middle and high school, STEM and entrepreneurship together. And the importance of that is for them to not only see themselves as engineers, but also entrepreneurs, because when it comes to learning about technology and getting those problem-solving skills, you can really become a decision maker and make opportunities for others. And that's why we bring in the entrepreneurship part.
That's so important. And you started this one in 2019, so relatively not long ago.
Yeah, not too long ago. This was around the time my co-founder and I, shout out to Dr. Brittany Wheeler, we were both in grad school. We both have MBAs, and we were, at the time, this was right after we were robotics instructors for a nonprofit called EIS, Elementary Institute of Science.
Yeah, my husband was an educator there for a little while.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
They do amazing work. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that was probably one of my first introductions into doing community work. But we were working with a group of girls, teaching them robotics and preparing them for a robotics competition. And while Dr. Brittany and I were both in our MBA programs, we were thinking like, wow, entrepreneurship is something that we wish we knew at an earlier age. And how can we make engineering more applied to everyday life? So that was kind of how Greater Than Tech started.
That's great.
So do you work with all the schools around the county?
Yeah, I mean, we normally focus in areas in Southeast San Diego. We're not all over the county yet.
You work with Lincoln?
We've done a program at Lincoln or with some Lincoln students.
Okay,
so
good. Yeah.
We're still establishing a lot of partnerships with schools, but definitely in that cluster for sure. We've worked at Knox and Gompers recently.
Sure. We need to get you involved with the Classroom in the Future Foundation, an organization I've been involved with for 25 years. We work with all the 43 school districts.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so
Absolutely.
Stephanie Brown was our principal of the year, celebrating. Our whole focus is college and career pathways with an emphasis on entrepreneurship. And so we put on Innovation Education Awards. And something we're going to invite you to here as we completely talk about things other than your questionnaire is we put on an event called Soup Tank. It is where superintendents do a Shark Tank pitch to business folks, and it'll be our third one. We got 8 superintendents coming next Thursday, and you're more than welcome to join us.
Yes, please.
And we'll send you an invitation. You can bring whoever you'd like, and you hear pitches from superintendents from Bonsall to Coronado to all over the place, and then there's a nice reception afterwards.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's
I just got the okay. Yeah.
Kristen is a writer, so it takes her just about a nanosecond longer.
It's only like 1.5 cups of coffee in, so and I was hungry this morning. So the soup tank, I was,
still hungry.
So what got you interested in engineering?
So I was always this kid that was tinkering and doing puzzles. I used to be called Puzzle Wizard. My
That's
Grandma
great.
used to call me that. And I'm from Flint, Michigan originally.
Yeah.
And I always had a natural curiosity just for understanding more about how things work and how to put things together. And I lived by an airport. So I remember asking my mom, how did planes fly? And she said, maybe one day you'll have a job where you can answer that question.
And you did.
And I did.
Yeah.
What a good answer to that question. I would have been like, I don't know.
My mom was a early childhood educator. So
Amazing.
a lot of my early childhood was more about making my own decisions and her like not telling me what to do, but just almost like gentle parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but listen, I bet when you look at all these entrepreneurs, people who have started their businesses, I've been lucky enough to have 3 of them. And, it's the parents. My parents were the same way. Hey, do whatever you do. As long as you're happy and healthy, you're having fun, and we'll give you some guidance and all that business. Now, you always will have that story in that. Talk about entrepreneurship. And, boy, I wish I knew this when. Okay.
Yeah. So where I grew up, so Flint, Michigan, definitely the thing that employed people the most at the time was General Motors. So working on the shop floor. And if you went away to college, that was awesome. And the word of advice was go to school, get a good job. That was it. So when it came to what entrepreneurship meant, where I grew up, it was basically a funny saying for like, oh, you don't have a real job. So I never thought that entrepreneurship was like something that was viable. And after getting a good job working for a big engineering company, I remember my manager saying at the time, as an engineer, one of the things that engineers have to decide, do you want to be technical or do you want to be in management? And I said both. So he said, why don't you get a master's in engineering and then get an MBA? And I ended up doing that, but along the way getting that MBA, Dr. Brittany and we were entering like a tech startup competition that was, I think it was extra credit for her class, like when she was doing her MBA program or her doctorate. And we ended up coming up with like a sensor idea that would be something a woman would like pin on her purse or her bag that would help her know what's around her, like to get away from attackers and things like that. And we actually made it to the semifinals in that competition. And we were like, what? And all the judges were like, well, you're engineers. Of course you can make this. And we were like, we could do this? So I think just the idea of my whole thought process of success was go to school, get a good job, and not necessarily you can create your own product, your own solution that could help people. And that was the aha moment for me when I thought, wow, if I knew about entrepreneurship earlier, I always make this joke and it's not so funny anymore, but like, would I have been the next Elon Musk? So just understanding like what you could create.
Still time.
Next Jasmine LeFlore. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't want to be the next Elon Musk.
Okay.
Period.
Whole other discussion.
Yeah. That's why I said it's not so funny anymore.
Yeah, right. That is a whole other discussion. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We're the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 17th year doing this with support of Mission Fed Credit Union. They've been doing wonderful things in our community for more than 60 years. We are chatting with Jasmine LeFlore. She is the co-founder and executive director of Greater Than Tech, joined by my more than capable, phenomenal, energetic.
Oh, there you go. These are some new ones.
As my listeners know, I got to come up with new adjectives to describe my co-host. Or else.
Yeah.
And Kristen Fogo is the executive director of San Diego Writers, Inc., which is in Liberty Station. Another question you have for Jasmine?
I have a ton of questions. So it's so great to hear all the wonderful mentorship you have. And I'm sure you've been such a resource. So mentorship could be included among that. But what sort of impact have you been seeing with the students?
Yeah, it's so cool. I mean, what's really awesome about our programs is that because it's STEM and entrepreneurship, we get a lot of different kids who are interested in different things. So for example, we get some kids who are like, they're just strictly about the coding and they gain those skills and they really get into it. We have students who are like, I want to be a business person. And we set them up into teams where they all have different roles. So they're able to, basically be in that driver's seat of what a founder is and like work in a team. So seeing students go from oh, I had no interest in this program, but there was one piece of it that was interesting, such as like business. And then they realize, oh, maybe I do actually like STEM. We are kind of early in our impact phase when it comes to students. A lot of the girls we work with are middle school, and most of our students in general are middle schoolers. So we're still on the path to see where they go. But I mean, we have had one of our earlier students, like she went off to Columbia for mechanical engineering on a full ride, which was amazing. She was a rock star regardless.
Yeah.
But hearing someone like her who already was interested in robotics, interested in engineering, and going through our programs and going from I want to be a roboticist to I want to own my own robotics company is like extremely like motivating. And that's literally why we wanted Greater Than Tech to exist. Think of yourself beyond the person just making, think of yourself as someone who's creating solutions for others.
No, that sounds great. When we come back from break, we're going to continue the conversation with Jasmine LeFlore. She is the co-founder and executive director of Greater Than Tech. I'm Drew Schlosberg. As you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg, Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast on our 17th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things in San Diego for more than 60 years. We're honored to have in the studio with us today Jasmine LeFlore, who was just sort of bebopping to the music at the
I like it. It is good. Yeah.
It is.
at the commercial. She's the co-founder and executive director of Greater Than Tech, joined by my co-host, Kristen Fogel, executive director of San Diego Writers Inn. Kristen.
Yeah. So, and again, maybe it's the coffee situation, only 1.5 cups here, but I wanted to get a little more specific. So are you doing after school programs? Are you coming in and doing like 6-week residencies? What does that kind of look like? There's so many different ways that you can make impact.
Yeah,
so.
like all the above.
Yeah. All of the things.
We have 3 program types, and even those can be in different type of sections. So one is our community programs, which is for girls and boys, and that can be a after school program. We did an after school program for 10 weeks last year for robotics. Cool. We did a summer program of that 3 weeks this past summer. So it's basically the type of curriculum where it's very modular, and it's all about how fast you want to go through it and what technology is used. So what's cool about what we do is that the framework is pretty much the same, but we just switch out the technology and we focus on emerging technology. So drones, robotics, AI, things like that. So the framework is pretty much the same. So after school, summer, and then we have our careers programs. That is for high school girls. So that is normally more specific, like a 1-week intensive summer program. That's normally how we do that one. And then we have our GTT Alumni Club. And basically every girl that has gone through our program is considered an alumni. And we pour more into the girls because we don't see a lot of girls, especially girls of color, in tech and entrepreneurship at all. So giving them those extra tool sets, whether it is taking them on company tech tours, taking them to different, tech. We went to Innovation Day recently, which was really cool because a lot of them never even been to Petco Park. And I didn't even know that was, I thought, oh, this is something cool, different. They're like, we're just happy to be here. Yeah. So I'm like, wow, there's just more impact already embedded.
Yeah. Right.
And then as well as with the Alumni Club, that is a way for them to network, get to talk to different speakers who are in entrepreneurship or engineering, and get to know each other and build their self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is like a big pillar for us because if you have been through things and you can apply that tenacity and perseverance you've had to have for other situations and apply it to your career aspirations, then you can go way further. And we try to emphasize that. So with the Alumni Club, it's definitely more informal. It's not as much as our framework curriculum. It's more about that connectivity, building their resume. And even right now, they're doing a capstone project where they are getting scholarships for coming up with their social impact solution using IoT or Internet of Things. And that was inspired by a tour we did with Qualcomm recently when they learned about what IoT is. So it's basically a gamut of how we impact, but I would say when it comes to most impact at one time with a lot of kids, that's normally our community programs. But when it comes to like the deep impact on a personal level, that's normally through our alumni program.
Yeah, so you are absolutely a poster child to be involved with Classroom of the Future Foundation. Again, I've been doing this since 1997. We work shoulder to shoulder with the County Office of Education. We're actually their funding arm, looked as an extension. So we're at the Linda Vista Innovation Center with their whole innovation division. And I can't wait to introduce you to all the folks we work with that are all tied into this space and to hopefully elevate what you folks are doing. Have you worked with the County Office of Education before?
I have connected with Alex Beckner.
Alex is great.
Alex.
So that's what so they're located where Classroom of the Future is.
Yeah.
And so Alex is terrific. He works with Al Love, who's on our board. Al literally is the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Do you know Al Love? Have you met Al yet?
I haven't met Al.
He's phenomenal. And so, and we're, I think it would be great to do this. We'll do that offline.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well, what you're doing is just exactly what needs to have a light shined on it, and that's what we do. We do summer programs. We just had somebody sitting in your seat last week. That was the CEO and founder of RoboLink.
Oh, I know him.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And so they do a competition. You weren't here because, once again, you missed another time to be a coach.
No. So sorry, I had a life.
Yeah, I had a life over here. That's right. We got to dock your pay.
I know.
But no, in all seriousness, it was great. Having Hansel on, and they now are involved in the largest drone competition using robotics in the country. Have you been involved in those?
Is that drone soccer?
I don't know what it. His whole organization, RoboLink, is involved. They have like 1,000 schools that are involved in this stuff, and he was chatting about it. Obviously, tying into STEM and STEAM and everything you were mentioning as well. Mm-hmm. And do you work with Ed for Tech at all? Does that ring a bell?
No,
that's another group.
Look, I'm taking notes now.
Seriously, this is just a networking session. And,
listen, but it's okay. Our listeners,
no, it's great.
Well, they've heard these guys on. Todd Ula is the chief strategist, a long-time phenomenal educator, doing a lot of work with Classroom of the Future Foundation, and they use robotics, working with Al Love and his team, offering summer camps and so forth, and with us, Classroom of the Future. And that's what we like to do here, Jasmine, is make that connection. And we love to have, when we see folks we haven't met before, like you, are doing just unbelievable things. Oh, my goodness. Here's 85 ways to open a door. And we're happy to do that. Kristen, what other questions do you have for Jasmine?
Yeah, so I was curious about some of the programs. Are all of them no cost to the students? Is there some cost involved? How does that kind of work?
Yeah, so we typically serve students who are unable to pay, so we keep it subsidized for them. But we also get students who can. Yeah. So normally we are funded through grants, and that allows us to be able to keep our programs low cost or no cost. But yeah, typically.
Do you work with Level Up? Do you get Level Up grants? Yeah. So that's what we work with the foundation and the Jacobs Institute for Innovation Education, Perla Myers.
We just did a program with Perla Myers and Biggie.
phenomenal program.
Yeah.
Want to talk about Biggie?
Yeah, I mean,
we've had him on the show. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, yeah, I was really excited to be a part of the initiative. We came in and did a 1-week camp for Biggie, so that was a good example of a community program, and it was really cool. 60 to 68 Black sixth graders who get an opportunity of a lifetime. They stick with it. I think they get a scholarship to USD, which is awesome. And seeing them go through the program and just have so much fun and have really awesome, innovative ideas, like things that can literally help communities today.
Yeah, there's no question about it. They work with the United Nations on some of those sustainable goals and so forth. And actually, our soup tank event we mentioned before, the superintendent's going to be presenting a pitch instead of Shark Tank. Again, Kristen just found out and figured that out.
Stop it.
That's right, exactly. Is going to be at the Jacobs Innovation Center. So anyway,
awesome.
We will invite you to that. Jasmine, any final comments? What can we do to support your efforts?
Yes.
Well, it depends on when this episode is coming out. I have
Next week.
Oh, okay. Well, I invite everyone to our fundraiser.
Oh, yes. Please tell us more.
December 6th. So, as I was mentioning with the GTT Alumni Club, we have students who are pitching their IoT, Internet of Things business, and they are getting scholarships for educational purposes as they're building their prototypes, building their idea. And that will be something that people can see on December 6th at the San Diego Public Library and the Shiley Event Center. If you go to our website, www.greaterthantech.org/tech-over-tapas, you will hear about it. And it's a really cool event we're doing. We're going to have networking opportunities. We're going to have tapas, which are really cool. Do it all family style. And we do this thing called a robot derby where we have our non-technical supporters learn how to code and our students are teaching them how to do it.
Oh, fun.
And it's almost like betting on horses, but it's betting on robots.
That sounds great.
It'll be really fun.
That would be me, the guy who doesn't know how 2 tin cans in a string.
You'll learn. She'll teach you.
No, I think, well, listen, we're just getting started with Jasmine because whether she likes it or not, she's going to be making return appearances. And what we'd love to do also, just to let you know, Jasmine, we'd love to have students come on the show.
Yeah.
So we'd love to bring them on and some of them.
Oh my gosh, I have like 3. They love to talk. So
perfect.
Just tell me when.
No, well, we're going to get that thing teed up offline on that. And then we want to introduce those students to the Classroom of the Future Foundation as well.
Yeah.
Again, shout out your website one more time.
www.greaterthantech.org.
Well, to say it's been an honor would be a phenomenal understatement. We're looking forward to having you on multiple times and doing whatever we can to raise the bar on your organization.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Absolutely. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest running community podcast, now in our 17th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, continuing to do great stuff for San Diegans for many years. Been honored to talk to Jasmine LeFlore, the co-founder and executive director of Greater Than Tech. And as always, a big shout out to my phenomenal co-host, Kristen Fogel, executive director of San Diego Writers Inc. Always appreciate you coming in and adding your 2 cents and more.
I am happy to add 2 cents or 3 cents or 4. Thank you.
We might even give you change back.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, very, very good. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.